I'm going to show you how to do some edits on a photo like this, because a lot of the stuff that you're going to see me do is in studio because that's mainly what I shoot, but I do stuff outside as well. This was one that I shot a few weeks back. So I'm going to show you guys how to kind of add that fall feel to an image like this, as well as do a sky replacement in it as well. That was something one of our members asked about. So whenever you're shooting outside, there's a few things you should know. You never want direct sun on faces. So shooting either sun up or sun down is going to be your best time. And so this particular image, you could see our sun is right here. And so it's actually shining this direction, and it's giving them this nice kind of soft light on their hair. So how do you expose for something like this? Well, so I'll show you my camera settings on this. My ISO is at 640. I am at 6.3, and I'm at 6.3 on my aperture because I have a group of people. Now, fortunately, they are in a pretty straight line. So I wasn't having to deal with a huge difference in the depth of field. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure everyone was in focus, and I was at 1/125th of a second, which actually is pretty low considering they were walking, but that was what I decided to do because I didn't want to bump my ISO up anymore. I didn't want to change my aperture, and so I just kind of went with trying to have as steady of a hand as possible. Now you can see that with the ISO, with the way that the lens that I'm on, all that stuff, I do have some grain in there, some noise. So what I would do is I would go over into my details, and I would just do a little bit of sharpening and noise reduction on this image. And you guys know I always use the Topaz Studio 2 AI Clear, so that's going to help as well. So you can see it's taken some of that noise out. When you're shooting raw, your camera is not automatically making those decisions for you, so you do have to do that. If you were shooting JPEG, it would sharpen for you or not. So you got to do it yourself. So obviously this is a fall time picture, so we want it to be warm. So I'm going to automatically start adjusting my temperature over to the yellow, and you can see what it's doing already as far as the overall feel. Those browns, now we're bringing out those yellows in them. I am going to up my vibrance a bit. I am going to up my whites and my blacks just a little bit. See where I want to go with my shadow or with my highlights here. So I'm going to go right about there with my highlights and just bump my exposure up just a little bit. I am going to go ahead and go over and just do some really quick color grading things for you guys. So, because I'm not going to do a lot with selective color in this one, because sometimes you just need a way to add fill to your images. So this is your shadows here. So what color do you want your shadows to be? Well, for this particular image, I'm going to go towards the reds because it's fall time and I want it to have that feeling. So I'm going to go with the reds, and I don't want it to be super light like this. Is just looks washed out to me. So I'm going to pull that back just a bit. Then with my highlights, I'm going to go with a yellow, somewhere between yellow orange, not yellow green. And I'm going to go this way with it because you see, I want it to be bright. I just want it to be super warm, super bright. Could you adjust your midtones? You could, and sometimes I see some actions that do this, but I don't want my people to be orange. Um, so I'm not going to really add much with that. I will just do a little bit. So you can go into your color mixer as well and make adjustments with that. the hues, I'm pretty happy with the hues. What I will probably change is just my saturation a little bit. So this picture has a lot of orange, as you can see. That's mainly the color, right? When I desaturate my oranges, it's completely washed out. So if you really want to boost the color in an image, then that's where you want to be. Now, when I took the oranges down, you see this color. And of course, we're thinking it's green, but I bet it's actually yellow. Yep, so it's yellow. So I'm going to boost that up a little bit. And there's really not much going on really, probably in any of the other color tones. Luminous is how light or dark something is. So I want to brighten up those colors. I want to brighten my reds and pull my oranges back just a little bit. And I'm going to darken my yellows. So that's a little bit more green. So you can see where we started and where we're at. And that's just using very, very simple Camera Raw adjustments on it. So we're going to hit open and bring this over into Photoshop. And I'm going to show you guys how to do the screen or the sky replacement in this. So Photoshop has a filter or a selection is where we're going to go first. So you see you can make selections based on different things: color range, focus area, subject, or sky. See? Sky. So guess what we're going to click? We're going to click sky. And it's going to do its little job. So you can see where you have these little funky lines. That's where it's reading it as sky. So what we're going to do, now that we have that selected, is we are going to go to, up here, and I'm going to hit copy. So I want to copy the selection that I have, and then I'm going to hit, I'm going to bring up a new layer, a blank layer, and I'm going to hit paste. And now what I have, when I turn my background off, is I have just the sky. And this is going to allow me to just work on that masky area now, just to put my sky in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where was this one at? Sorry, it's in actually edit and sky replacement. I think it's kind of strange that it's over there. So you have these sky replacements that you can choose from. So if you, it's taken a second to think here. So you can click this, and it's got all different kinds of skies that you can choose from. So essentially what you want to do is you want to pick the most appropriate sky for your image. And so you want to keep in mind things like where the sun is coming from. Like I wouldn't choose this one because I feel like it's lighter here, darker here, meaning the sun goes that direction. So I wouldn't choose that one. But this one, I feel like the sun is coming from the right area. Are there any other ones that I like? No, let's just go with that. Okay, so we have that. So that's going to be our sky. And obviously, if I move it out of the way, you can see it does not look at all realistic. So you have this, which is called the shift edge. And essentially what that does is it blends it. So I really want this to look realistic as possible. So I'm going to blend it down to there. Then you have face edge. And you can see what it's doing. It's a blending part of it too. You have brightness. So is it too bright? Is it too dark? So I want it to kind of be consistent with the sky that we already have as far as brightness. So I'm going to go there. Temperature. Do we need to warm it up? Do we need to cool it down? And I think for this image, we're going to go right about there. Scale. Do we want it bigger? Do we want it smaller? So we want it to fill the space. I think it's going really slow. I like it right there. It's still not perfect at all, but I'm gonna hit OK. And so you can see what it's done. I like to work with all of this in one thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my background, and I'm gonna right click and hit merge visible layers. So all of that action that we just did, all that adjustment is now right there. So I can turn that sky on and off just like this. Now you can change your mode that it's in. That will affect how it interacts. So you see if you go to like overlay, soft light, it's just disappearing. There really is no wrong or right answer for what mode you want to go to for something like this. Just kind of depends on what you like. I think I like the darken mode for this one. And so it's still not perfect, but it's better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do layer masks. Remember, we're not erasing. We're going to layer mask it so we can use our black and white brush to make adjustments. So it's white, but actually what I want to do is I'm going to Command I it to invert it, which takes it away, because I want to selectively paint it in. So since it's black, it's non-visible, I need a white brush to make it visible. And I am going to get a brush, a decent sized brush. I'm going to go all the way to my full opacity because I prefer to do that and then change it down here personally. That's just me. And I'm going to start painting in my sky. Now, obviously, you see that in certain places you're going to need a smaller brush, and that's fine. You can go in and be as detailed as you want with something like this, but I will show you what I'm going to do here in just a minute. So let's say I've gone through and I have essentially painted in everywhere that I want it. Okay, it's obviously not realistic looking, so what do? Well, now we start working with our opacity. And so what if it's a situation where in order to make the edges look realistic, I have to almost take it away? Well, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my opacity to where I feel like it itself is realistic, which I feel like right about there is. Now I need to blend these edges in better. So since we used a white and black layer, this is how we can do it. I'm going to go to black, which is going to take it away. I'm going to get kind of a big soft brush, and I'm going to bring my flow down to about 20%. And I'm going to start slowly going on those edges where it's not realistic looking, and just start blending the edges in until it looks believable. Now, even at this point, if I wanted to, I can up my opacity more if I decided that maybe it's still not what I wanted, and you can continue to do that same thing, just blending softly. Now, what if I'm like, I think I took too much away right here? Then you go with your brush and you flip the color and you go with it the other way and you blend it back the other direction until you have it where you want it. And I think this is a little too dark personally for me. It's a little too much, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit to right about there. And I'm going to show you guys the before and the after with that particular sky. I'll zoom out and show you the before and the after. And I still personally would pull that down just a little bit so it's a little more blended in, and then you would flatten it, and now you have your picture. And I'll show you guys the before sky and the after sky. So that's how you can use Camera Raw to easily change the feel of your outdoor photos as well as do a sky replacement.